It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad.
Figurines made from glass and ass and doesn't know how much money he spends on tiny glass figurines. Christian is a fiend for tiny glass figurines. Christian Baltazar is a fan of tiny glass figurines. Tiny glass figurines.
Guitar solo by Alex.
Thank you guys. That's going to be our submission for the new James Bond theme.
Yeah, Billie Eilish, watch out.
Have you heard her song?
Really good.
Think so?
Yeah, you don't think she's super on brand to be doing the new James Bond theme?
I think she's actually not on brand at all for the James Bond theme.
Really? Her voice is...
Did you hear the song?
The one that they played for the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know what the name of the song
Doesn't
is.
sound anything like a Bond song, dude. No trumpets, no loud ba-ba.
Are there always trumpets?
In the good ones.
Really?
In the good ones. She's just getting caught up on this like Adele sob song sort of thing.
What do you want? You want her to do something super hyped?
I want like Live and Let Die. I want like, you know what I mean?
So you think they chose the wrong person?
No, I think they picked a good person. I think she made a bad song.
Made a bad song. Okay. If you were to make a song, what would the song be like? Let's hear it.
Just like what we just did.
Oh, that would
be it.
With that kind of bass line and whatnot?
Exactly. And trumpets.
Okay.
Otis is asleep, otherwise he'd be doing the trumpet part.
Yeah.
He's been practicing all week, so it's weird that he's not participating.
It's really good, and he's really good at the trumpet because he could really tighten his lips.
If you say so. Welcome.
Yo, welcome to another episode of ICBTB Podcast.
Also known as...
It Can't Be That Bad
Podcast.
That's right, we're a podcast.
And what we do here at this podcast...
is that we talk your ears off.
And we watch bad movies.
But we call them good.
And we prove that they... can't be that bad.
That's right. Critics out there, if you are listening, because we know that there are millions of critics that listen to this podcast.
Food critics, podcast critics, movie critics, TV critics.
Or just for you judgmental folk type that just like to judge everything that you see because you can't find real happiness anywhere else other than to dominate and blanket your insecurities by judging others. That's what a bully is. Fuck you bullies is what I'm trying to say. What say you? Is that hitting a little close to home?
Nope, I agree with you. I'm on your side.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Fuck bullies. 1, 2, 3. Fuck bullies. Yo, man.
What?
You don't want to fuck bullies?
I don't.
I mean, you know what I mean by that. I can't say anything without you taking it literally.
Here's the thing.
What?
Some people need a little bullying in their life.
Some people. Other bullies, I'd say. What do you say?
Maybe.
Right? Bullies need to be bullied. Fight fire with fire?
I think that creates more fire, but I think what I'm saying...
What are you trying to say?
Is 1 in 4 bullies helps the world. Think about it this way.
This is a crazy hill that you want to die on.
Think about it this way.
I'm thinking.
If a bully hadn't told Steve Jobs he was no good at college and he would have and then he quit, he wouldn't have gone on to make Apple. If a bully hadn't told George Washington that he was never going to be president of America, he wouldn't have started the revolution, right? And if a bully would have told Jesus that he couldn't save the wicked and the poor and the broken, need I say any more? I think
That's
I made my point.
I see what you're saying. You're making a point, but in that case, is that really a bully?
It's a catalyst.
I like that better. I think it's all about semantics when it comes down to it, because sometimes bullies sometimes they say shit that won't push other people to become better. I guess it's really dependent on who's getting bullied.
I also think some bullies are really funny.
Trump. Trump is a bully, a national bully.
It would be so funny if it wasn't our country.
It would to
It'd
just
be
see
so
it
much funnier
from
if
the
this was like
sidelines.
Canada. If Canada had elected Trump as president, and we were sitting here, we'd be like, oh, "Those fucking Canadians,
Dude,
bro."
but Canadians are too nice to even have a bully. They'll shoot down bullies on sight, I'm sure.
No, dude, I can guarantee there's worse Canadian bullies than the worst American bully.
I thought you were going to say, I can guarantee there's at least one Canadian bully. One.
I think per capita, there's more bullies in Canada than America.
You think so?
I'm willing to bet all of the money this podcast has ever gotten me.
What? That means you'll be making money because we've only ever put money in. That means you're betting negative dollars.
Yep. We watched a movie today, guys.
Yes.
It's a classic.
And it has nothing to do with bullies? Actually, it does in a way. If you consider an Asian crime boss a bully.
So much to say about that Asian crime boss, actually.
What was his name? Something
Eddie Kim. Eddie Kim.
Eddie Kim.
Why does he never come back in the film?
Yeah.
And also, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
We watched Snakes on a Plane. You heard it right, guys. We watched Snakes on a Plane. That's the movie we watched.
Yeah, so if you're afraid of snakes,
don't watch this one.
and if you're afraid of planes,
Don't watch this one.
and if you're afraid of snakes on a plane,
Watch this one.
yeah, because a double negative is a positive.
So, this movie was released in 2006, the year of our Lord. It was rated R, has a runtime of 1 hour, 46 minutes, or for Melissa, 106 minutes. It has a rating of 5.4 out of 10 on IMDb, a 58% on Metacritic, and it's got the number 69.
There you go. You know that was
Rotten
strategic.
Tomatoes.
Boom.
I was going to vote on it, but I will not.
No, let's leave everything that has a rating of 69 or 6.9 or 0.69. Leave it at that.
Or if somehow, yeah, I was going to say if it had 420%, but that doesn't make sense.
You're trying the 420 thing?
For anything.
Yeah.
Christian,
What's up?
will you please help me?
Help you what?
I need you to tell me what percentage of Google users like this movie.
69. Just kidding. I think it's a lot better than that. 96. Is 96 the same as 69 sexually? No.
That means you're mad at each other.
You're standing back to back, arms crossed.
A 96 is how normal people sleep. No, you're wrong. It's 83%.
Damn.
Give me your belt.
That makes sense. Here you go.
Pull your pants up. Synapses coming at you here.
Right at you.
I don't know if you really need it, guys. You really hear it straight from the title, but I'll read it anyways. that's FBI agent Neville Flynn boards a flight from Hawaii to Los Angeles, escorting a witness on trial. On board, an onboard assassin releases a crate of... There is no onboard assassin.
Is there none?
No, who?
He's not on board. He is off board, and then he releases the crate, is what happens.
Who wrote this synopsis?
I don't know. Where are you getting it from? What's the
I'm going to
source?
make up my own synopsis.
Do it. Tell me.
Okay.
We should be making up our own synapses.
Synapsis coming at you.
Right at you.
Snakes on a plane. You ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
Snakes
Uh-huh.
on a plane.
Fucking beautiful,
Thank
dude.
you very much. Thank you.
Short and sweet without wasting any time.
Would you like to hear the tagline?
Yeah, say the tagline. Ooh. Or shall I say...
Are you singing Snake Jazz?
Snake Jazz, my friend. I knew you'd appreciate that.
That's one of my favorite episodes of Rick and Morty. Shout out.
Shout
Chris
out
Hardwick.
Rick and Morty.
Christian Mr. Square.
Mr. Square? Christian Mr. Square.
It had a budget of $36 million.
Okay.
How much of those doll hairs did it make back? And potentially, how much more did it make back?
$50 million is, I think, what it made at the box office. And it...
You're looking right at my screen.
I'm really not. I'm just looking off.
Right at my screen.
No, I'm not really looking.
You're
I'm
wrong
not reading.
For a cheater. You're a dirty cheater and you're wrong. It made $62 million.
Hey, I was kind of close. 50 mil. You just bump it up a
It
little
was
bit.
nice. Yeah, it's not the worst number you've ever guessed. This movie is starring the beautiful and voluptuous Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, beautiful and voluptuous.
Honestly, I wanted to recast this film, but he would keep his role.
He
could do this role again today.
First of all, Samuel L. Jackson does not age. He looks exactly the same as he does
He's
in every single
97,
film.
98.
Dude, he's dusty, I'm sure.
It's also co-starring Julie Ann Margulis,
Who plays Claire?
Rachel Blanchard.
Is that the dog girl?
No, that's Mercedes. Yeah, the dog girl.
Mm-hmm.
Kenan Thompson.
My favorite.
And then everyone else doesn't really matter. They're the best. They're the best guys that we're talking about.
Yeah. Why do you think this movie was a hit? Because
it's bonkers.
did you watch this film when it came out?
No.
Is this your first time seeing the film?
No.
It is my first time seeing the film.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because I avoided it because it sounded so bonkers. I was like, there is so much better film classics that I could watch other than Snakes on a Plane.
I disagree. I think this is one of those classics.
Well, now that I've seen it,
Yeah.
it definitely has like a cult following because it's just absolutely off the charts. It's bonkers.
I'll tell you what chart it is on, though.
What?
The official ICBTB rating system.
That's right, guys. We have an official rating system.
And when we put the video on, we'll have it right here.
Yep.
It's going to have 5 spots.
5 spots. I know rating system sounds complicated, but we made it super simple for you baddies out
a
there.
movie can be.
Yes, is.
It can be that good.
That's right. And then below that is
Bonkers,
Parentheses.
good way.
all right, and the middle is can't be that bad because that makes sense.
Yep. And then right below it can't be that bad.
Is bonkers parentheses
Bad way.
bad way.
And then the lowest that a movie can be is it can be that bad.
Yeah, guys.
And we try not to give that one out, but, sometimes.
Sometimes it just gets too hard to defend some shitty films.
But this movie is rated bonkers, parentheses, in a
Good
good
way. We sound like children. It's bonkers, good way. Either cavemen, we sound like cavemen, or we sound like children, or cave children.
I think we're sounding smarter.
As you stuttered through that sentence.
Smart people stutter.
Do they? Like,
Samuel L. Jackson used to have a stutter.
Stephen Hawking doesn't. But then again,
He's dead.
also, when he was alive, he had his little
Oh, is that how you're saving
voice-operated
Is that how you're
system?
saving your joke?
I'm not saving it. What?
Rude.
Wow.
Why don't we just take this movie from the top of the snake and go all the way down to the tail?
Ooh, you tried to. That was a shitty figure of speech. From the top of the snake to the tail of the snake.
I don't want to wait on anymore. So before we go into the movie, I want to tell you something.
Tell me.
I've killed a snake with my hands and a rock.
Okay.
And
I'm proud of
It was
you.
a rattlesnake.
Oh, fuck, for real?
Yes, this is 100% real.
Okay.
And I know this is one of those things that I talk about where people aren't going to believe it, but there was people around. You can ask. You can ask.
Okay, so where were you? What was the situation like?
When I worked at a summer camp for kids, it was
Okay.
up in the mountains, and rattlesnakes, as you know, are very dangerous and venomous, and you cannot have rattlesnakes around children. It's just one of those things. And what you can't have more than rattlesnakes around kids are young rattlesnakes, because young rattlesnakes are worse because they can't control their venom. They're just going to kill you most of the time. Anyways, we're on a hike, and we're walking around, and one of the kids goes, "Hey, I think that's a snake over there." And sure enough, it was a snake. It was about... maybe 12, 13 inches long, little tiny rattler, and you could hear the rattle shaking at it, and we're like, crap. So we got all the kids away, and there's about 3 or 4 of us standing around, and we're like, all right, well, we got to kill it. And I was like, I'll do it. And
You were excited? Did you jumped up and volunteered?
I wasn't excited to kill the snake, but I wanted to have that experience.
You wanted the clout of killing a snake.
I wanted to have the story for sure. And so we're going to go get a shovel, because that's what you're supposed to do. And what you do when you kill a rattlesnake is you cut its head off, and then you bury it separately. You bury the body away from the head. I don't know why. That's just what you do. That's what they told
That
me
sounds
what to
supernatural.
do. It's what the mountain dudes told me what to do. Like
You
the
have
guys
to
who are there every
mutilate
year. But you do have to cut the head off. That's the only way to kill it, because otherwise the venom could still come out of the mouth.
Interesting.
So I threw a rock at it, and it stunned it, and then
Is this Pokemon?
it really
Throwing rocks at it?
was that part made me feel sad and kind of weird because I hit it right on the head. And anyways, so at that
Are they
point I had to
thick? Is
finish
it a thick snake?
It took quite a bit to remove the head from that snake.
You're taking out lowering its health bar slowly and slowly.
Like 100 PV. No, I did eventually cut the head off. And then I also cut the rattler off, and I kept it, because that's what you do when you kill your
So
first
you have
snake.
that at home.
I don't actually. I gave it to a kid who was having a bad day.
Here is
No, really. I was like, "Hey man, you want to see something cool?" And he was like, "What?" I was like, "This is a real rattlesnake this is a real rattler from a rattlesnake." And he thought it was really cool. And I was like, "If you wanna
You're
keep
good
it,
with
you can
kids.
keep it."
Yeah. No, that would be if I were a little boy, I think that'd make me really happy.
Oh, he thought it was dope. And then he was like the coolest kid at camp because he had a real rattlesnake's rattler, which is the craziest thing to look at, because it's like imagine a material that's made of thumbnail,
Yeah.
and inside of it are like beads that rattle around.
Ugh.
It was a crazy experience.
So,
Anyways, cut the head off, buried the body away, buried the head at a different spot.
were you prepared if you were to hypothetically get bit? Were you prepared for the consequences? Someone would have to suck the venom
If
out.
I got bit,
Yes.
oof. I didn't think about it.
Did you have a lot of adrenaline when you were?
Because I also knew that you can't have these things around kids, right? So someone has to get rid of it.
Yeah. So it's for a good reason. You were defending them.
Protecting children, bro.
Yeah. At that point, it's easy to kind of let the adrenaline
joy.
take over.
It wasn't like a joyful experience, but it was definitely cool.
It is a cool story, dude. I've killed garden snakes before.
Why?
Because I've had to. As a kid, I thought I was defending the household, dude, and then you find out that they're completely fine.
They're essentially a hose. They're pretty much just a hose.
Now I feel bad. Yeah, like now
okay,
I'm
fine.
not.
They're super poisonous, Christian. You can't have those near dogs. If a dog eats one, the dog will turn into one. So you saved your dog's lives.
That's how garden snakes reproduce.
That they
get
don't
eaten?
actually have. Are you afraid of snakes at all? I know snakes
No.
is a pretty common. I'm not afraid of snakes
Not at all.
I love snakes. I wouldn't want to touch one. I wouldn't want to have one as a pet. But I'm not afraid of them.
My next door neighbor, George Schwo, or my ex next door neighbor,
Your ex next?
my ex next, he used to kind of be the snake guy. He used to have like, I don't know what type of snake it was, but he used to just walk around with a snake.
Ryan McCum used to have a snake.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I remember that. It was in his house. He had like a tank of a snake.
If I had a snake, what would you name it? I mean, if you had a snake, what would you name it?
If we're gonna name each other's
If I had a
potential
snake, what would
snake.
you name it? And I'll name your snake.
Okay, we'll name each other's snakes.
Okay.
Your snake would be called Tiny Little Dicky.
Okay.
A reference to the
Yours
rapper.
is going to be Slytherin. Slytherin salad. Salads are Slytherin.
Oh, so he's a Harry Potter fan of Latin descent.
He's the creator of the house, Slytherin.
Salazar Slytherin.
Yeah, read a book, bro. One of my favorite. We'll take this movie from the top. So
Yes.
the main guy whose role was originally offered to Shia LaBeouf.
Really?
Yes.
I would have preferred Shia LaBeouf.
I would have preferred
So
almost
much more.
anybody else besides that main
This
guy.
guy was kind of weird.
Very bland. I don't even
Super
know what his
vanilla.
name is.
Yeah, I don't think it's important to know his name because as much as we're defending this film,
Well, he is one of
he
the main
didn't give us
characters.
much to defend.
He's one of the main characters. His name is Sean Jones in the movie, played by a man named Nathan Phillips, which is French for Nathan Phillips.
Wow.
Thank you. So he witnesses a murder by this drug lord, gang member, leader of the Yakuza, Eddie Kim.
Yeah, who's this super ripped Asian guy.
And he kills his friend. I thought I blinked and missed something. Does he just find that guy hanging upside down?
He doesn't. No, they find the dude and they hang him upside down, or his henchmen do at least. And he gets some sort of bat and he just beats the shit out of him. And he says something along the lines of, "I'm gonna tell your son about how he has to live the rest of his life without a father."
Is that Nathan's dad?
No, not at all. I'm pretty sure Nathan would have been more
Upset.
shook up because all Nathan was doing, he was doing motocross in
And
the
he came
jungles.
across the body.
He saw the entire thing happen.
I know, but how did he? Whatever. Again, guys, if we start dissecting this movie, it's not going to be fun. So just sit back, crack a beer, watch some Sneaks on a Plane.
Yeah, it is available on. Actually, it's not. It's only available for purchase. I got it on Amazon Prime. I rented it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Very noble of you. Not
Yeah,
to
dude.
pirate it.
I ain't a pirate, dude. I think money should go where it deserves.
Well, I think big corporations don't deserve any more of my money since they're getting tax breaks by the millions. So I say, fuck them. The pirate's life for me, bro.
Wow, you should knock out one of your sunglass lens so it looks like you have an eye patch.
Do I have another pair of sunglasses?
You do have another pair. Don't actually do it.
Oh.
One time you made me run into 7-Eleven to get you another pair of 7-Eleven sunglasses.
Don't tell people my
Sorry,
secrets.
I meant Gucci.
We are
I had
cutting-
to break into Gucci.
We are cutting that out. You don't understand what it means to create a character. I am a character actor here. And I spend my entire life living, breathing, eating this character that I have embodied. The real Alejandro is afraid of the dark. And he cannot put a sentence together in English because he only speaks Latin.
Dude, it's funny when you take off those sunglasses, you're essentially still the same person.
I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
still act exactly the same when the camera turns off. Snakes on the plane, dude.
Snakes on a plane.
Yeah, so guys, this movie is crazy. It does a good job of actually letting you know who each individual character is.
It's in the deleted scenes, you meet every passenger.
You watched the deleted scenes?
I have my ways.
You pirated the deleted scenes?
There were cut scenes of every passengers. So you're introduced to every passenger, and they cut out most of it for time, but you're still introduced to like 80% of the passengers on the airplane.
There are so many people
You
that
literally
it
get
spends
like
lot
a
of time with.
5-second intro on everybody.
Yeah.
And then the people that you don't like right off the bat live the longest.
Yeah. 3Gs. What did you think of 3Gs, the
I
rapper?
hated
There's
him.
a rapper
There's a
here.
rapper in this movie called 3Gs whose bodyguard is
Kenan
Thompson.
Thompson.
Who is the hero in this film.
Yes.
He helps a little boy.
Uh-huh.
He lands an airplane. Spoilers. He protects Triple G or 3G or whatever the hell his name is.
3Gs.
5G network. And he doesn't objectify any women in this movie.
No.
He's literally the hero.
He's a gentleman.
Everyone else.
3Gs I do want to talk about, though.
Let's lay it on.
You see him at the airport, and he's a famous rapper, and so
is.
he's surrounded by a bunch of fans that notice him.
Want his autograph.
They line up, and
do.
so the first thing he signs is like a poster. The second thing he signs is
Actually, the first thing he signs is like a spiral notebook.
is that what it is?
I was cracking up because the first thing the girl hands him is like a spiral notebook.
Here, sign my notes, please.
And then the next thing he signs,
Is a titty.
she didn't ask him to do that.
No, she
handed
came
him
up.
a magazine.
Yeah, and he pulls her closer and cups her underboob and doesn't sign the skin of her boob.
No, ruins her dress.
Ruins her dress, but she's gonna smile because who knows what this guy could do.
Well, we've seen Showgirls. We know what rich people do.
Yeah, rich people can fuck you up. Let's see. And then after that, a little kid, probably 9 years old, a white little kid, gives him gives 3Gs his own CD to
He's like,
for him to
I'm
sign.
your biggest fan.
And 3G says,
Stay black.
"Stay black." And the kid goes, "Hell yeah," and gives him like a high five. And 3Gs, I think it's important for the listeners to know, is a germaphobe.
No, he is aware of the current pandemic because he turns around and uses Purell.
He's the only person on that airplane, if COVID was a thing back then, that would survive.
I'll tell you what.
What?
He cleaned his hands, and they make fun of him for it. And I just think in today's day and age, that's fucking
Oh,
gross.
it's applicable. But he doesn't have to be a dick about it. Like, it shows in his body language, everything about it. He's kind of
I
an
often
asshole.
wonder about that. When rich people and politicians like go down the line and shake hands with everybody, I wonder.
You have to wash your hands.
Do you think that'll, after this whole thing blows over, do you think that'll ever happen?
Well, we're gonna probably have to acclimate back to normal life, and in that way, we're gonna kind of naturally be hesitant to have any kind of physical interaction with anyone. Because even like I'm hearing that the governor wants to open California back up in segments, right?
Yeah.
Like counties one at a time.
Sure.
And when that happens, do you think everyone's going to be rushing back to the public? I'm pretty sure people are going to be very hesitant to go back into public.
I have a feeling
What?
that as soon as they let us out of our houses, everyone's going to go back to life as normal, and we're going to forget all the shit that we just learned because America is dumb and we don't learn our lesson.
History repeats itself, dude.
I think once this is done, 3 months tops before it's business as usual.
You think so, and people are going to be hugging and hanging out in large groups.
Yep. We do not listen and we do not learn as a society. And it's one of the most infuriating parts about America is that we don't learn our lessons.
It's easy when you're not directly
Affected.
to just kind of revert to old habits and just feel invincible.
I think they're going to let us out. Everybody's going to fuck up, and then we're going to have a second wave, and then we all got to go back home again.
Oh, we got to stay home again?
Yep. Anyways, Snakes on a Plane.
Snakes on a
Give you
plane.
plenty of time to watch this movie.
Yeah.
And guys, honestly, this is a fun movie. It's an hour and 45 minutes long, 46, whatever. It's an hour and 46 minutes long, and it's fun. You don't have to really pay attention. It's snakes on a plane. The assholes get eaten. The good guys get eaten. It's just snakes on a plane.
When this movie was made, so like how much of it was meant to be a joke and how much of it was meant it's because it was very campy yet.
It is.
At
And
times.
I will let you know, I did some research.
Uh-huh.
And what I learned was that when they finished filming this film, they had showed it to some test audience and had the trailer. And it had such a huge cult following already on the internet and parody videos of just the title alone of Snakes on the Plane.
Yes.
That when they got word of it, they did like 2 months of reshoots in which that's where they added, I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this
As a
motherfucking
joke.
plane.
It's
because
insane.
Because when they realized how society was taking it, they're like, all right, well, let's just double down on the joke and live with it as it is.
They doubled down on it so hard that at the end credits of this film, there is a full music video.
Although, I don't know if that was a joke. That's very 2006. That's very early 2000 for
At
them.
first, I thought it was a joke.
For them to, for sure. It's definitely jokey. It's
Yeah.
definitely campy. But I bet you, like, when they had that idea of, like, we'll make this movie, and then we'll have a song made for Snakes on a Plane. What movie? Every movie had a song made for it, bro.
Yeah, its own theme song. I mean, it was, if you break down the lyrics, it was Pretty bad. But then again, 2006.
In the ranking of horror films,
Yes.
A, B, C, what rank would you give this?
This is a B.
A B? Solid
Definitely
B?
like a
Not
solid.
C?
Like are you talking about like in terms of like my personal grade for it, or
Yeah.
like a in terms of like how A-star
Like-
A-list actors and
Well,
B-list?
it definitely has A-list actors. It has an Academy Award winner in it.
Samuel L. Jackson, yes,
Yes.
for sure. But though its genre and the way it was shot, B-list horror movie for sure.
Interesting.
What do you think?
I agree. So the movie's main plot is that the kid witnesses that murder that Eddie Kim does.
Yeah.
And he goes to the FBI
Yeah, well, Samuel L. Jackson finds
goes
out
to him.
somehow. Yeah, it goes to him
Yeah.
and saves his life.
because the police are, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Samuel Jackson gets him, says, we're going to fly back to LA. So they
Yeah.
decide to get on an airplane. Here was the most unbelievable part about this film.
What?
That the FBI didn't just buy coach tickets for this airplane. They bought the entire first class
For
section.
3 people, Sam Jackson, his partner, and the kid that witnessed the murder. 3 people taking up an entire second floor on this airplane.
If the Federal Bureau of Investigations is using my tax money to rent an entire floor of an airplane,
Yeah.
I'm furious.
I wonder how many fucking lives would have been saved if they just let the first class citizen, not first class citizens.
Wow.
First class.
I think you mean white people, Christian.
No, that's not what I meant. Have you seen me? I'm far from white. Of course, I'm not going to say that.
Anyways. So, yeah, it's bonkers that they have the whole first class section just for themselves.
Yeah.
So they force everybody else into coach. And they get on this plane. And it's weird that the people who are getting on this plane leaving Hawaii are getting a lay.
Yes.
You usually get a lay when you land in Hawaii, not when you're leaving.
No, I've never received a goodbye lay.
I didn't even, well, I've never had a necklace of flowers as a goodbye lay.
Gross.
You can't ask those questions, though, in this movie.
No.
You just got to accept it.
Well, it's already fucking ridiculous.
These snakes get released on the plane,
And how did they get past security?
they're cold-blooded.
They're cold-blooded?
That's the line. That's how they
That's how they got through the
say
heat
it in the
sensors?
movie. They're cold-blooded.
That's so ridiculous.
I don't think that's a
That's
thing.
ridiculous.
And then if you notice, like, they're hidden by a wall of boxes, right, in the in the compartment. And then the like timer, it's got an altidometer on it.
Yeah.
And then once it gets to a certain altitude, the timer starts. And then once the timer starts, it opens these doors that releases hundreds of snakes and one like python.
One fat python. That's it.
It is insane. And Eddie Kim, the last time we see Eddie Kim in this film,
Yeah.
is him saying like, I had to do it. This was the only other way.
No.
Is that the only other way?
Eddie Kim, if he is a true crime boss, probably could have
Horrible.
someone just fly over to LA, do a more discreet assassination
sure.
of this kid.
For sure. There is one Asian guy on the plane. The one who does kickboxing.
I thought he was working for Eddie Kim at first.
Why else have him on the plane?
No clue.
What was that? Was one of my notes that kept coming back, being like, "Oh, now he's going to turn. Now he's going to turn. Now," because he did live the entire time. That Asian guy made it through the entire flight.
He had no through line. We don't know what happens with
All we
him.
know is that he did kickboxing, and so did the flight attendant.
Did he even use kickboxing on the snakes?
No, but I'll tell you what they did use on the snakes.
What?
A taser.
A taser. Sam Jackson was just going around.
He was tasing these snakes, and apparently this taser was so powerful that these snakes were flying away from him.
Yes. They were using a hairspray flamethrower. He used it to kill 2 snakes and then puts it away and never brings it back.
Now, that seems like that's more dangerous for the pressurized cabin of an airplane
Yes.
than shooting a window. I think the can that could potentially explode in his hand
Yes.
is far worse.
And also, I want to talk about all the other factors other than the snakes that are making this a terrible flight. No
The
AC.
people.
The people were shitty.
I also think
What?
far more people were hurt in this film by other people than what the snakes actually did.
Yes.
I think more people got stomped to death. One dude gets a high heel shoved into his ear.
Into his ear. And her heel also breaks, and so the heel is just stuck in him.
Bonkers.
People
In a
are
good
dying.
way.
In a good way. Yeah, it's thoroughly
This is
entertaining.
the funniest. Like, they have the funniest deaths in this film.
And it's also obviously aged.
Very
Yes.
poorly. The technology, like the phones that they have, there's a phone in the flight, like a payphone in the airplane.
Yes.
There's weird so they have like, I don't know what kind of airplane it is. I think it's a Boeing like 800, maybe even a Boeing 1000. I'm not sure what these numbers mean when it comes to them.
And I'm not familiar with airplanes at all, so I'm going to
let's go
believe
with
everything
Boeing
you say.
1000.
1,000 sounds like a good
There
number
is
to
a
me.
spiral staircase in this airplane, which
This-
I know is a thing. There are double-decker 2-story airplanes.
I
right?
haven't been on
And
airplanes
Airbus.
like this.
But they're used for like 15, 12-hour plus flights.
And this
New
is a
York to
5-hour
Dubai.
flight.
Honolulu to LAX is like one of the most routine flights that happens all the time. Southwest makes that flight on their little 757s.
So why are they using this airplane? This
Why
makes
not
no
make
sense.
it? And also, like, why
it's a
not?
red eye too.
Yeah,
a
and,
red eye flight using a really nice, luxurious airplane.
When we learn that it's a red eye, it's because there's a guy on there who is freaking the
He's
fuck
anxious.
out.
He's taking Xanax to
And
chill
drinking
out.
heavily. Is that Elizabeth Banks?
No, tis not. It
Looks
looks
like-
like Elizabeth Banks, but I know how Elizabeth Banks looks like.
And that's not her.
Nope.
If you say so. Yeah. So every character has a rich, dynamic backstory that we learn pretty
Yes.
much in its entirety. That's what I
Yes.
like about this film is how deep into the backstories we go. Are you familiar with Westworld?
The plot.
Okay.
Slightly. I haven't seen any of it.
One of the things that they talk about is all of the host robots have to have a backstory so that it seems believable.
Yeah. Well, all the host robots believe that they're real people.
It's almost like everybody in this film has a backstory so that we believe that they're real people.
I know. Even the horny couple has some sort of like a backstory. They're just trying.
That was actually one of the best sex scenes I've ever seen in my life.
You think so?
They
They were smoking a joint.
had like a normal smoke detector in that airplane. I've never tampered with a smoke detector in an airplane because it's a federal offense.
Yes.
But I've also never seen a smoke detector look like that.
That's like something you would have in your house.
That's also the biggest bathroom.
I mean, I guess they would have big bathrooms in this luxurious airplane. But also, they start fucking, and then since there's a hole in the ceiling because they removed the smoke detector,
That's where the hole came from.
that's where the snakes first came in.
I didn't really ask questions like that because I was just like, oh, there's just a hole in the roof.
And this is when I started really realizing that this is super campy and such a joke when the snake bit her nipple.
In the first 30 minutes, snakes have bitten nipples, dicks, and bit a guy right in the eye.
Yes. I'm pretty sure one snake went up that fat lady's coochie.
Yeah, is that what that was?
Yeah, he went up her skirt, into her coochie, back out, and up her cleavage, and then bites her in the eye. Weird order of events.
She was the first person to get eaten that I wanted to be eaten. Right? Because you meet a couple of people when they're boarding the plane that you hate. Like the guy who's like, what do you mean I'm not in first class?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Oh, that fucking... The businessman?
the businessman who was like, I didn't ask for sarcasm. I was like, bro, you're dishing it out first.
Something he said was, is Coach gonna get me to my meeting on time?
Yeah, and she's like, I'm pretty sure coach and first class get there at the same time, which is the appropriate response.
Yes.
To which he responds is like, well, I didn't pay for sarcasm. I'd like to speak to your supervisor. If I was her, it's her last flight. She should have been like, okay,
Yeah. I would have just said, fuck you.
yes, you
Like,
can.
what's gonna happen?
You can. He's off the plane.
Yeah, he's off.
He's-
Get him off. Because he was pushing her into a corner with his words.
I would have let him get eaten by a snake, which
He does. And he doesn't get bit by like these normal snakes. No, this fucking python.
half eats him. And then when the window breaks and all the snakes are getting sucked out,
you see the python
with legs still sticking out of his mouth.
just fly out of this depressurized airplane.
Yeah, so that is like the end all be all. Samuel L. Jackson finally is like, you know what? I'm going to shoot this window to suck all the... Which,
What? Oh, crazy. I'm pretty sure there were easier ways to solve this issue.
yeah, what they did, plug the bottom, plug the hole.
Yes.
Get everybody up on the first floor and plug the hole.
That's all. And then try to make it safely.
One of my favorite lines in this entire film
Is
there's a mother and a baby on the plane. Because
Yes.
of course there's a mother and a baby
They're
on
trying
this
to
plane.
raise the stakes, man.
And because it's the worst airplane flight you could ever have. Mm-hmm. There's a yappy dog. There's a crying baby. There's a mean man. There's a dude who's sick. There's a couple fucking and smoking. This is literally the flight from hell.
This is I know why this is a flight from hell. I know why this movie was made. To kind of be a testament of what not to be as a passenger.
This should be the safety video they make you watch on every flight.
He's just like, okay, I won't have sex and smoke a joint in a bathroom because my nipple will get bit.
You may think it's fun. Mm-hmm. Anyways,
And it's not.
this is the flight from hell. All these people suck.
I want to talk about Kenan Thompson's PCP or PCP.
Wow.
P-
Freudian
my
slip there, buddy?
gosh.
You want to try some drugs? Is that
no,
what you're trying
I
to
don't
do?
want to.
Well, today's not the day. Get 'em, boys. Here's the police.
I used to get mixed up with PCP and a PVC pipe. Don't shake your head at me. You could not drink water any more quietly.
I had to... that coffee made me thirsty.
I know. I'm really thirsty and I'm really hungry too. I thought coffee would make me full.
No, coffee makes you hungry.
Really?
I don't know.
Don't throw
Kenan
an
Thompson's
Alejandro fact at me.
PSP.
Yes.
Stands for please suck
PlayStation
penis.
Portable.
Oh.
Whoa, Freudian slip there, buddy. You want to suck a penis, please?
Are you asking me? Please,
Not to suck my penis,
Please,
but
please
a-
tell me yes. Tell me yes. That's what you want. No, Christian, it's not what I want. Well, never mind then. Let me pull my pants up. Wow, this episode's over. Goodbye.
Don't talk for me. I did not say any of that.
Kenan Thompson is playing a PlayStation Portable. I had a PlayStation Portable. It was 10 years too early. It was far beyond its time. It should have been released 10 years later is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because it seemed kind of rushed. I didn't like its
PSP?
quality, dude.
No, it had decent quality, bro. I used to play Madden and hockey. I played some good games on there.
The mechanics on the PSP sucked. I'd say, at least for the games that I bought. Maybe the games that I bought
I'll
sucked.
tell you why I know you don't believe that.
Why?
Because you bought the better version of it.
Of the
The
better
Nintendo
version of
Switch.
Hell yeah. The Switch right now is awesome.
It's the perfected version of a PSP.
Yeah, definitely. I keep wanting to say PCP.
There's so many times where people step up to kind of save the day.
Yes.
And it's never because they want to do it. Someone almost always makes them do it. Like, you can tell Samuel L. Jackson doesn't want to be an FBI agent. Someone's making him go on these missions.
Dude, he's trying to just
Give up.
home.
And like the flight attendant who saves the lady with the baby, she only saves the baby and then like gets to save the baby and then sees the woman then is like, oh yeah, we should save both of these people.
Yes, she got bit in the back and then just ends up dying. Poor girl.
Does she die?
Yeah, she dies and they cover her face with a flight attendant blazer to give her a proper burial.
Sure, her body got sucked out.
Yeah.
Did it? It had to have been.
Yeah, because no one's gonna strap a dead body.
It had to.
Who they
have
have to
been.
strap themselves first?
Most of the flight attendants couldn't even strap themselves on. Which also, why couldn't the flight attendants strap themselves in?
Dude, they were just clinging on to the
hanging
arm of a
on.
chair.
A couple of times they do what's called like the brace for impact position in an airplane, which is when you sit and you put your head in between your knees.
Ooh.
Right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
I'm
about.
about to give you chills down your spine.
Okay, give them.
I've read that position isn't designed to protect you in a plane crash. It's designed to kill you instantly.
Wow, quite the opposite.
Exactly. It's so that you don't actually
any pain.
Yep. Think about it. You put your head in between your knees when the airplane slams into the ground. You're just going to move forward. It's going to shoot your spinal cord out your ass.
Wow, I don't want to feel that coming out of my ass. But
But
you know what I would-
chills down your back.
you said a spine coming out of my ass. That sounds terrible. Can you imagine each fucking... I was about to call them riblets. Dude, I'm hungry. Vertebrae, not riblets. They're not... Dude,
You fat
dude,
fuck.
I'm so out of there right now. I'm so hungry that I'm
Hey,
saying...
buddy, we'll get some food after this, okay?
Please, I'm saying some bonkers shit right now. I said PCP instead of PSP. I'm saying riblets instead of vertebrae. Fuck. I was going to say, if I were to know that the plane were to crash or something dangerous were to happen, I would get belligerently drunk beforehand because that way my muscles relax. And
The snakes can eat you easier.
No, not that part.
I always think if something like this were to happen,
Yeah.
we always think that we would be able to survive. But statistically, we'd probably be one of the first people to go.
Oh, for sure. I've always told myself that in a zombie apocalypse,
Oh, except for
I'd
that.
be the first to die. Oh,
Yeah, I could live on a zombie apocalypse because I'm not afraid to kill people.
Like real people?
Why not? It's the one chance in life I'd get to do it. And
I've told you if I get bit by a zombie, shoot me instantly. But let me say something first. Let me have like some cool last words.
nope. Oh shit, he got bit. Bang!
Don't let me say no. I changed my mind and then shoot me. Let me say something like, "Hey man,
Guys, I love you.
I would confess
Christian,
my
I
love."
was like, Alex, I secretly used to hate when you made the life partner joke, but you know what? Deep down inside, it made me happy to know that.
Bang, bang, bang.
I keep starting the story and then not finishing it, but the lady with the baby
Yes.
says my favorite line in the entire film. Can you try and guess what it is?
Is it when she's commenting on the Mile High Club thing? When that couple's fucking in the bathroom?
No, it's when the snakes have already started attacking,
And-
and she's running around, and she like runs to the bathrooms, and she like looks at one person, and she just goes, "I'm scared." And I bet
That's your favorite line?
And I bet you it's because the director was like, I need you to act more scared. I need you to act more scared. And she was just like, I am scared.
Improvise it. You have to improvise it for me. We didn't write a page for this part of the script.
The two kids who are writing by themselves.
Oh, yeah. What about them? They were ridiculous. All he had to do, he had one job, protect his little brother. Got bit by a cobra.
Wow.
And his arm is looking like...
brother's supposed to do? Jump in front of the snake?
Yeah, dude. I'd jump in front of my brother if a snake were coming.
I have heard
that
snakes actually have really bad accuracy and are not good when they launch at you. Is your chance to like get away from them because they can't see very well. They usually almost always miss.
I think I play enough video games to know that. I think instinctively I might be able to like dodge and roll.
Don't ever use video games as your reasoning for knowing something.
Well, that's what Kenan Thompson does in this fucking movie.
And okay, you know what? You're right.
Right? He plays. He says he's logged in. This is ridiculous.
So
over 2,000 hours.
At one point, the flight attendant comes back into the war-torn cabin and is like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but does anybody know how to fly a plane? Which is not what you say to everybody on an airplane.
No.
Because everyone instantly starts freaking out, and then finally triple G or GGGG or
3 G's, bro.
He says, Kenan Thompson time, baby. You are the one who can save us, boy.
But he doesn't say it like that. And
What?
just because he's a rapper doesn't mean he adds boy at the end of his sentence.
I was putting boy at the end of a sentence because he is from Atlanta.
Does he say that?
Me.
I think you're just assuming, dude.
I don't assume genders and roles anymore. I just assume where you're from.
Hey, you're from Wisconsin. You.
Christian, name one city in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin City, bro. Boy. Call back. Call back to your boy joke.
That's how you get out of not knowing geography.
Dude, if you say anything confidently enough, you can get away from
You trying to do the magic smoke and mirrors? Boy, see what I did there, guys? I brought it back. Anyways, why are my toes weird?
I want to talk about 3Gs a little bit more. He was one of my favorite characters, not because of his moral compass.
He is all over the place.
He is. I loved when he was flirting with Miss White chick with the dog.
Her name is Mercedes.
Mercedes with a dog named Mary Kate. Pick one, girl.
As in Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
I know. I understand that.
They're not triplets. Do you think Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen are
No,
triplets?
I know that.
So she's named her after Mary Kate, the hotter of the two Olsen twins.
Whoa, they look the same, dude. Both sick.
You're
look
sick.
Sickly.
Every woman is
man.
beautiful in their own
they're all
way.
gorgeous. But them, they're beautiful. They're good looking in Full House.
Let me ask you something about twins.
Not as kids, but they're like good looking children.
What? They're good looking children?
No, but you know what I mean. They looked healthy. Stop. Don't make me look weird. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, they're good looking children.
Yes.
Snakes on a plane.
Yes. What I wanted to talk about 3Gs.
Hit me.
Because some of the shit that he was saying to Mercedes, he was saying,
Was it working?
yeah, well, it was working on her. She was loving it. He was saying, I know who you are. And he was like, I know you know who I am. And she's like, yeah, you're 3Gs, the rapper. And he recites a lyric or the title of one of his songs, Booty Be Thumpin'.
And she's like, yeah, my booty be thumping.
Yeah, my booty be thumping, which I think is so funny. Also, when Miss Fat Lady,
Wow.
I'm so sorry, the older, bigger, brown
Mrs.
lady.
Baltazar.
Her name, my mom? Are you talking about my mom?
Gotcha with the mom joke. Na, 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 na.
Hey, don't try to save yourself by
What?
trying to put this na at the end. I'm pretty sure I actually know her name. I think her name is Miss Kova. No, maybe I'm just thinking COVID. Dude, I don't know what I'm saying.
You are so hungry. I can see it in your eyes. You look hollow and gaunt.
Intermittent fasting, my friend.
Oh, that's why you're so hungry.
No, I just forget to eat sometimes.
This movie has the number 55 greatest line in history.
Yes, 55. I would go so far as to say 54.
I didn't rate it, bro. It's on the list.
Oh, it's legitimately 55?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say it.
I am tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. And everybody else knows the edit version. I am tired of these monkey-loving...
Does he say monkey loving
You don't remember
instead?
that? Yeah.
No.
These monkey-loving snakes on this something plane.
I've heard of people switching out in songs instead of motherfucking, they'll put in chicken clucking.
Or how about mother trucking?
I've heard that too. Yeah. But that's a great line.
It is a great line. Do you have a best person on set award?
Yeah, it's going to go to 3Gs.
Oh, okay.
I
Tell
know.
me why.
3Gs
Tell me why.
does a good job of making you dislike him, and he also has a change of heart at the end where he actually shakes someone's hand without putting Purell on it afterwards.
Yeah, only after he threatened to shoot and kill everybody on the airplane.
That part was bad.
Your favorite character is somebody who threatened to kill everybody.
Fine, I will change mine to Kenan Thompson because during that moment, Kenan Thompson says, "Hey, Clarence, first of all, 3G's name is Clarence." He says, "Hey, Clarence, I know we've known each other since kids, but I don't even recognize you anymore." And that's when Clarence, a.k.a. 3G's, has a change of heart and becomes a good person. But I do want to say 3G's actor's name.
I lost my internet connection, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, you did?
My best person on set award,
What?
Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson.
Bringing the most, doing the max.
Yes. I think this was, I don't know when what did he get on SNL 2008? So this was like shortly before.
Wow, I don't know. How do you know? Why'd you pick that year?
No, because I know that he's the longest running cast member on SNL that's ever been on there before.
And you picked 2008?
I think 2008 was what it was.
It sounds about right. I don't know.
12 years.
But that's a very specific year for you to pick.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure, I do some research on some things, and Kenan Thompson happens to be one of the things that I do research on.
His orange shirt looked like Nickelodeon orange.
It was like a little callback to, hey, my old days.
I think so. Any final thoughts?
3G's name is Flex Alexander. There are some quotes that I do want to, some honorable quotes that I want to throw out there.
Honorable throats?
All praises to the PlayStation. Sam Jackson says that.
That is hilarious. There are some great little tabs.
Yeah. 3G's looks at the fat lady and says to Kenan Thompson, "You like that, huh? Baby got back, side to side and front." Which is fucked up to say to someone a little more portly.
It is gross.
And one last thing I want to say is the scene where Sam Jackson and Kenan Thompson are co-pilots. That's the movie that America wants to see. A buddy cop film between Kenan Thompson and Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
I thought you were going to say something of more essence, my friend.
I think the film that people want to see
is
Samuel L. Jackson defending the rights of a witness on an airplane that is overrun with venomous snakes.
This movie. Snakes on the plane.
Multiple times did they say poisonous, and snakes aren't poisonous. They're
I wanted
venomous.
to actually tell you that. That was irking me the entire film.
It wasn't until they got the snake expert who started correcting people. And I bet you when they were writing the script, they brought in a snake expert halfway through, and then that's when they learned.
Shit, we already shot half of the scenes where they say poisonous. We'll let it go. But I guess that's probably accurate.
Pretty real. I don't think people know the difference between venomous and poisonous.
And let's break it down. So poisonous means that you have to
eat it.
Yeah, ingest it, digest
it. It has to eat you.
Then not necessarily.
Well, it's injected into
injection, yeah. Because if someone eats you, you have bigger problems than.
Well, yeah, but generally, things that are poisonous, you eat. Things that are venomous, eat you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a centipede is not poisonous; it is venomous.
Yeah, and another fun fact:
what?
When gerbils have sex, they die.
Really?
Well, the one I had sex with did.
You're gross, dude. All right. Baddies, thanks for sticking around. I hope we covered everything that you've been itching to hear about snakes on a plane. I'm sorry I was so hungry, and I'm sorry Alex fucked the gerbil.
It's a joke. Oh, God.
Gerbil, fuck. Bye.